very sensitive. We be no say with the plunge into something we risk prone because we knew that we ensure say every pay point, every district location, we talk to police officers. They've been there. 5-6 representative. You get ACC representative. So each pay point gets a group of people away. And they expect say they all know connive for do something fraudulent.
The allegation here now that now people they pass on the streets then call, we then sign at the end of the day, according to the allegation, then they pull the money now the hand way they don't sign for. That's now one allegation. So as a commission, from where this incident happened, what thing we don't gather so far?
The people that we see on the video, we come inside, they then pay them, they come out. Whatever they do outside, I don't know at the moment. Make ACC investigate. But the people who see we come inside, we complain, say they give them money, they go pull and these are people who are not disabled. So if you are not disabled, you had no business coming in. But now if you did, NACSA been get the responsibility for screen them and ensure say, no, look, you don't look disabled. Can you prove? The people then come in, they not look disabled, and they receive.
Before this, the media pick this issue up, when staff them the mechanic make any complaint to when I say the people them way then they pay, then fair not people they go pull money at the anado?
No, which is the reason why we don't suspend them all at the moment. Because for me, whether they be know, say that they put money in their hand outside or they don't know, the fact that some of the people in the allegation in the videos we don't watch, they don't look like disabled people. So they're not qualified, they're not beneficiaries. Why then take money?
So this investigation is still with the Anti-Corruption Commission. Now we look at the setup we been in at this place. We said this incident took place. The police, the Anti-Corruption Commission, and other state actors. Them now the Anti-Corruption been they still not in the doing investigation. You as NACSA boss trust this process? Say then go land at a very credible investigation for ensure they are able to conclude quickly.
Unless things then change overnight. At the moment, Commissioner Francis Benkefala and Deputy are holding very high esteem as credible people. Already, they don't suspend their own very staff will be involved in the process. That staff therefore go through internal investigation. If they find them wanting, then they will prosecute them. So if they do anything to their own staff, I don't see any reason why they will cover for anybody.
What are the plans we NACSA don't put in place for avoid then kind occurrence there? So since we still inside COVID-19 and people speculate lockdowns.
This one incident means sometimes we not go do emergency response like that one now unless we don't do verification, which is what we are already preparing for. So if there's a lockdown tomorrow, we are likely not coming out.
Alright, that's now the NACSA boss, Lokari Kokofele. If they talk to Musa S. Kamara inside that interview, for sake of corruption allegation, them we make them suspend the regional coordinator for the North and 3 other senior officer them where they work for NACSA for sake of corruption. We be happen, what they allege say be happen during the told them be the shape the couple way government be provide for disabled people during the lockdown which is passed all over the country.
All right, well, we continue with the program. Good Morning Salone. We come to you from 98.1 na Freetown, 89.5 Radio Shalom na Koinadugu and Falaba, and also Radio Malen 88.5 na Pujon District. We come to the studio guest them this morning as Unayeri from we headline this morning. We will talk to Emmanuel Kweva Amara from the ACC. We will talk about the May 31 extension of asset declaration for public officials. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Very good morning. Very good morning, people of Sierra Leone.
All right. Well, I come first to Ibrahim Tomi. We are the executive director for CAL. They for talk about the position paper where them pull na do outside they look at different things them where them believe say they cause instability in the country where some pandemic na the case them within a court, political cases them within a court, constituency 110 we not get MPA till now, another issue them where they outline inside the 10-page position paper. Good morning and welcome to the program again.
Good morning, Asma. Thank you very much.
Like I say, now this short intro when I put position paper for look at in the political context the rule of law and waiting the Hamburg the rule of law now as when I put together different and point them where one of them, like we don't say earlier, now the cases them of the political cases within a court, the constituency 110 we not get MP8, another one them summarize for we, and the other issue them within into on position paper.
Thank you very much. So, I mean, we all know, say, in the last 3 weeks in particular, but we did taken from January through May, we don't witness really some spate of violence, incidents of violence across the country. We don't they see steps by the government for address the acts of violence there. And by the way, the Mecca talking from the outset, say, as an organization, the Center for Accountability and Rule of Law, we do not support violence. We not think say anything the way we justify violence, especially on the scale that happened in the last 3 weeks, which is why we support law enforcement and justice institutions and for make sure so they investigate and prosecute the one that will be behind acts of violence, make us see that from the outset. But our point is that we not go prosecute way out of the current situation with offend yourself. In other words, okay for arrest, investigate, prosecute people away they behind violence, but also find as a country, as a government, that we reflect on the context. Which context we talk about? Now we reflect on the political context, reflect on the rule of law environment, and even reflect on the economic context. So look at the political context. Remember in April 2018, we went to the polls. After the elections, we get to parliament, we get APC, opposition APC, we get majority seats. Fast forward, 10 members of the APC lost their seat through a petition. Granted, now the court order. Then they file appeals. Unfortunately, it took nearly a year for them even assign cases. Right now, even the members of parliament.
Would file the appeal?
The APC members, 10 APC members, will then be ejected from parliament through that then court orders. The one that where they file the appeals, it takes nearly a year before we even get to court for sit-down on them cases in there. So right now, even the SFP members of parliament will replace them at parliament, not even sure whether they get for daily forever because the case not done it. The one that back with them will not even know whether they get for go back to parliament. So that situation remains unresolved. When they take and see that is one of the issues we'll look at. But beyond just then 10 cases then, or 9 cases there, there is one with affect constituency 110, where the court be order say we need to get a by-election for let them determine whether they represent people in a constituency 110. And by the way, in the interest of full disclosure, now that constituency means self day. So in that sense, I'm a victim. It's been more than a year we not get a representative from that constituency. Remember, that same constituency be experienced violence where they do the by-elections and even after that. So these are some of the issues. When they look at the political context, where they say beyond just arresting, investigating, and prosecuting, look at some of these underlying causes, some of the undercurrents of the current tension within the country. We also look at the rule of law context, what I don't talk about quickly, what I don't already mention. Apart from the fact that then cases there don't take a long time for let the court dispose of, and by the way, they don't assign the appeal cases to a panel, and I'm happy to say that the panel don't move forward, but they definitely need to push really quickly for let them resolve the case in there. But let's look at the commissions of inquiry. The current administration don't do a very good job of making sure that they focus on anti-corruption, and we don't see the numbers. Numbers don't lie. The Anti-Corruption Commission they lead a great effort to fight against corruption. One of the anti-corruption initiatives have been the commissions of inquiry. Now, one of the things that we the opposition APC do, and the Bar Association, where of course I'm a member of, was to fight with the Supreme Court challenging the legal basis of that commission. Now, the Supreme Court again, the Chief Justice now assigned then suits in there. Those matters remain unresolved. Now, when the commissions of inquiry done, you see the first press release the APC released in response to that commissioner for say, oh, we not respect the findings because we're going to court, they're not here, we matter. So the disadvantage of that is it already cast a cloud, you understand it, on that process. Now, related to the commissions of inquiry, now the rumors where they go out there say, oh, they don't ban X number of politicians, or the whole process now for just target opposition APC members and all of that. So that's part of the thing. And by the way, let me just say this. I support entirely the ongoing anti-corruption efforts in the country, including the work of the commissions of inquiry. But I'm just saying that we have to look at the context to understand why some of them things that they happen. Then the other two look at the economic context. A corona don't come. A lot of people don't fall on hard times. Businesses don't fold up. Youth man job not problem. If you go to just between SL Mining and Shandong, at least 4,000 people and lost jobs. So that context they need to understand, and so that when they respond to the recent spate of violence, even as they say nothing justifies violence, but when they respond to them, you need to make sure say you look at the context completely and address some of the underlying causes, which is why we welcome this quick action economic recovery program of the government launched and the other pro-poor initiative. These are all good, but then you have to understand that violence doesn't happen in vacuum. We do not support violence, but sometimes it doesn't happen in vacuum. There are underlying currents where every government and citizens them need to look at. So broadly, Nadana, the paper will put out. And of course, we make a lot of recommendations, so direct to the president, the chief justice, the director of public prosecution, and political parties.
We will look at the recommendation later on at the program, but let we start to look at some of the main issues them where the report talk about. One, the report speak mainly on the continuous rise in political tension at the country, and it talk about arrest them where they can make, where the police not they do speedy trial or charge go court. Then we look at this tension, political tension, where many people believe say that the country and we don't the result of the violence there, we don't they happen. Now different parts them where on a position paper been talk about. Over 100, according to the position paper, over 100 people who don't arrest from different violence that will don't happen. When they call on the Chief Justice for put things there in place so that then go try them people there. But up to this moment, nothing like that's not happen. In as much as the courts them lock force, but hopefully by tomorrow then go begin sit down. What think can they expect as soon as the court open?
Yes. Thank you, Kalija. So I think this yesterday night the courts reopened, and we do this position paper. Almost before the Chief Justice they announced after the President make an appeal to the Chief Justice, sit and therefore reopen the court. So you're right. So we'll follow all the cases from Foredugu, Lunsa, Tumbo, across the country. We observed the police carry out at least 100 arrests, and you know if you look at the current fight against corona, even we started keeping suspects and cramped policies. So one of the things that they recommend for make sure say then detention facilities or conditions compliant with the corona prevention measures. But more importantly, for let the police, the DPP office, make them process their investigations and such that the one that we really are just tenuous or weak evidence they get against them, let them release them. The one that we get strong evidence against them, charge them and make we get expeditious trials, because not only for them case there, it's a problem with our criminal justice system. We have a lot of people with the on remand, with the in detention, with the wait for justice, and that cannot be right. And it's just fear that if you say somebody don't commit, or you suspect say somebody don't commit an offense, make you know what you don't commit, charge them, make a court of law can test you evidence, because civil liberties. I think that we're not for joking. When you arrest someone at the time, it's not a decision you make lightly. Me own liberty, do I enjoy them? I just imagine you arrest me for even 1 hour. It's not a decision you make lightly. So when you make that decision, you will make sure say a competent court of law test you evidence.
Talking about arrest and detain people for a long time, that brings me to the next question I want to ask you. We get for do with people where don't they see then they describe as political prisoners when they stand trial. Some they not even charge the it for even going to court. We don't see Usai Amnesty International pull a position Usai and they call on government for investigate or show them people them Usai them people they are Digitad, Brigadier Paulo Conte and Sylvia Blyden. Now one of the people who don't this international organization they call for show Usai then they or charge them go court. What in a Carl them position? Carl now one of the civil society organization they will be done they see they come out strongly where camp and things they will get for do the rule of law.
Well, I'm not sure about your characterization of political prisoners, and I go left Amnesty International for let them comment on the statement. But here's what I would say in general. whether now Dr. Silver Blyden or any other person, the laws are very clear, and this is where I come from. If you arrest somebody, you say you suspect as not commit an offense, regardless of the person in stature, in political stature, and economic status, it doesn't matter. And this is my point. Make sure say that person they get the full benefit of fair trial guarantees. Charge them, can a court bring you evidence without delay, and make the court talk say yes, we don't test your evidence and the person guilty or not guilty. Because if you not do that one day, it just make sections of the population they obviously gather a grudge, then begin to say, oh, the system now they work right for certain members of society, the system rigged against some people. It cannot be right. Remember progress on a number of issues.